Hello, dear friends. We're doing a short series together on awareness techniques. And these are a little bit like the building blocks of meditation. So each of them is quite profound in its own right and could become a lifelong meditation technique. But they're building blocks because ultimately, when you learn these, you might piece them together or might use parts of them in the ultimate meditation practice that you choose. And I found that particularly the ones that we're going to be covering in this short course, which are body awareness, and under body awareness, there's quite a lot, breath awareness, and then observing your thoughts, that those have enhanced my core meditation practice, which is centering prayer. And so I trust it'll do the same for you. As I say, each of these is quite profound, especially body awareness, because we neglect our bodies. We don't put attention on our bodies. We sometimes reject our bodies. Sometimes our bodies contain tension. Sometimes more than that, our bodies contain repressed emotions and things like that. And so each one is something you should almost, I'd suggest, do from time to time once you master them. And you'll go through seasons in your life where one is more meaningful than the other. And funnily enough, there's even times of the day when one is better than the other. I find that sometimes, I don't want to say often, but quite often, I fall asleep or I get close to drifting off when meditating. But body awareness is one type of meditation where that it doesn't happen for me. I'm able to stay alert and able to stay awake and not fall asleep. So, for example, if I know I really need some peace, my mind is just a mess. It's just out of control. It's controlling me, and that's what meditation is all about: is getting control of the mind. Romans 8:6 in the Bible: the mind of sinful man is death. So there's death going on in the minds of mankind, just useless thought processes, looking for love in the wrong places, plotting, thinking about the future, worrying about the past, guilt, regret, anxiety, all rooted in the mind. And the whole idea of meditation is to rein that in by developing this inner strength, which comes from a deeper part of you than the mind, which is what I would call the spirit, the deeper inner nature. Some faiths have called it the heart. So it's the prayer of the heart, and it's strengthening the heart and becoming aware in order to be able to rein in the mind. So, for example, if I'm pretty tired, but I know I really need to rein in my mind, I need to spend a bit of time and reach that deeper inner part of myself, then I'll do the body awareness techniques because they don't make me fall asleep. Every technique is about cultivating awareness. And awareness is alert but peaceful consciousness. So it's a little bit like, imagine a tiger looking for its prey. It's highly alert, but it's also tense. This is very aware, but relaxed. And practically that's to be in your parasympathetic nervous system, not in your sympathetic nervous system. Another part of meditation is to get out of the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight mode. It's the part of you when your heart rate variability drops. In other words, the space between your heartbeats becomes very consistent because you're like a crouching lion. You're hunting because you're under threat. It's fright or flight. This is a relaxed mode. It's a peaceful mode. It's a letting go mode. It's the rest and digest part of your nervous system. And your heart rate variability is high because the heart is just, the heart's relaxed. And so every meditation is aimed at slowing the racing mind, getting control, learning to get control of that, finding an inner center in God, in your spiritual nature and your heart. As I've said, I've often said in this course, I'm not aiming to convince anybody of new beliefs. I'm trying to lead people into experiences. So attention and awareness can be seen in three ways, and they overlap. And maybe you don't believe in the first one, and that is spiritual. I believe that when you meditate, you enter your spiritual nature, and your spiritual nature is accessed through awareness, which is presence. And that in your spiritual nature, you are an eternal being that never dies. There's a part of you that's eternal, that's your spiritual nature. And that part of you is connected to God. And the breath of God is in a human being. And so when you meditate, you're going into the spiritual nature. But you may say, oh, baloney, I don't believe in that stuff. So if you don't want to talk about spirituality, there's another thing that's happening in meditation, which is right on the other side of the spectrum, and that's looking at brainwaves. That when you meditate, you're activating a different part of your brain, and that's proven because they've seen that alpha waves are released by meditators, as opposed to when you're cognitively processing, rational processing, you're solving a problem, beta waves are being released. And so it's a different part of your brain that is activated when you meditate. And the bottom line is it's crucial and healthy. Another way of saying it is we were meant to learn to pray. But again, you might say, the thing, though, is that your brain needs to spend time in alpha mode. And if you spend your whole day in beta mode on your cell phone, worrying about problems, in stress, and you beta, it leads to a brain that's less neuroplastic, that gets dug into rut-like thinking, and entrenched neural pathways, ways of doing things, ways of thinking, fear reactions, reactions that are pre-programmed, boom, and it happens. Whereas when you meditate and you give your body some alpha, it relaxes all of that. It increases neuroplasticity. It enables the brain to regenerate. It enables deep, rat-like thought processes to dissipate. And it's a crucial thing for a healthy brain. And then probably a third aspect of what meditation does is psychological. So meditation opens you up to repressed emotions, suppressed emotions, the shadow side of you, harmful thought patterns coming to the surface rather than being hidden in the subconscious and being healed. It's often said that whatever you're aware of can't control you. And so as your awareness grows, as you begin examining your mind, that's actually a meditation technique, is simply watching your thoughts, being higher than your thoughts, being the observer, being in the spirit, and looking down at your thoughts and observing them and studying them and realizing, wow, I so often think about how I can get people to like me. That's a deep false self need of mine. And then the more I become aware of that, the less that controls me. So these are all the benefits of meditation, and these awareness techniques are a great kickstart of the building blocks of meditation.
Our souls wait in silence, in rest and in quiet for you. Spirit, in trust and dependence, we walk in the promise of you. Coming with hope.